but I would still, have many lonely nights when a man lays his head on the pillow. No matter who was in the bed, I was sleeping with me, and felt like many times I was in neutral. Didn't have something that I was building towards and chasing relationship-wise, even career-wise at that time. I got through it fine. I didn't go overboard and overindulge and didn't get dangerous with my health or anyone else's. Mainly because if I get the blues, I'd be like, open your eyes, bro. Look around, man. You kidding me? Take your time. And so, I would say ultimately I was lonely in that time because I knew it was a stop, not a stay. And I knew I wanted more career, relationships, etc. But I wasn't really fully committed. Didn't have the wherewithal, the identity to go actually chase it and go, I know what I want. I want to live a way to attract that. I did have time where I tried to go find it. But as I talked about in the book, I had time where I was every red light, who's over there? Produce section, who's over there? Every party, who's over there? Looking for the one. And once I was like, I had that great dream of the 88-year-old bachelor that I was with all the kids showing up. That dream gave me grace, man, because I quit looking for that one. I did start acting like someone, though. My target drew the arrow. I started acting like someone who had a wherewithal and a peace of mind with myself, not needing someone to fulfill. That drew her to me that I didn't have before that dream.
You've had a front row seat to a variety of rhythms of marriages, your parents, yours. What have you learned about choosing a good partner?
Well, I'm still learning, but friends first. Did Camille and I become friends first? No, we became lovers pretty quickly, but the things I respected about her and saw that she had were things that I valued in a close friend. Someone who respected their past, someone who had a great sense of humor, but was never going to lie to put themselves to get what they wanted in front of me or take advantage of me. Someone who, was impressed with who I was much more than they were impressed with what I did. Someone who very quickly saw the best in me and was like, I like that. Let's see some more of that, and watered that side of me. As we talked about earlier, see some more of that. Let me put some more fuel on that fire so you can even be more of that. Why not be all of that? What's his name? Tim. Who was Susan Sarandon married to years ago?
An entire room of people shaking their heads.
Great actor, Shawshank Redemption, Tim Robbins.
There we are.
They had a line that said that we have similar moral bottom line. It's always stuck with me. When you're going to partner with someone, especially if you're going to have family, I think, make sure you got a similar moral bottom line. Because, and look, Camilla and I are going through new challenges now because we have teenagers, Then if you're going to get together, I think this was a Susan Sarandon line when she was married to our moral bottom line and do's and don'ts and what's accepted and what we would accept had been pretty part and parcel up until now. Teens are getting like, well, I'm a little loose over here. Yeah, let them go get that scar. Let them go get their heart broke, whatever that is. Let them go try it out and fail or succeed. Let them go negotiate, free play. She's a little more. And so her and I are working on that balance right now. And it's a new balance having teenagers as they're getting their independence, but having a similar moral bottom line, connected to bringing out the best in the partners is having somebody you're a fan of and that they're a fan of you. You call each other on your shit, or you don't have to call it because a look says enough. And you're like, yeah, and I know that was me, bogey, or yeah, I got away with that one again. No more, cut that out. And then what I'm learning now, trying to learn, is that it seems we're essentially all the person that for me now, I think I'm essentially the same person I was 19 years ago. Essentially the same person I was when I was 8, 50, or 1. But our value systems reorder as we grow independently and as a couple. Your value system changes for every parent when they become a parent for what's important in their life. So you're moving things different places on the chart, in the number 1 spot, the 2 spot, and 3 spot. But to understand that it also happens with us as individuals, and going that we do change, and how do we, even by being essentially the same person that we fell in love with, we still need room to change along the way and go through things that may seem inconsistent with who the DNA of why we fell in love with that person or what we love, who someone was, but no, they're still essentially that, but give them room to change. Give them room to change. Also, the I think it's a Springsteen line. You don't. About sometimes you're running and the other one's walking. And it's okay to be ahead, but don't lose sight. Don't get so far ahead you leave your mate lost back there going. Sometimes somebody's real healthy, the other one's on IR. But we're still on the same team. That takes patience by the one who's healthy and takes persistence by the one who's on IR. But you gotta wait up to hold that hand to go, we're still doing this together, even though maybe in this zone right now in my life, I'm flying and you're walking. So certain things that I find, well, she's flying and I'm walking, you know? And so navigating that, how we change as we grow up, and measuring that against who we initially fell for in the first place and saying, well, they are still that. Of course they changed. Hell, I've changed. I want to say, you know, and a lot of times I say it, I say, well, you've changed. Well, heaven, yeah, I've changed.
I'd hope so.
You know, and doing that with a partner is part of the work, I think, of a relationship.
Sort of talking about transformations, trajectories, pivots, changes. Let's escape Hollywood and go to South America and see what's going on over there. Let's escape singlehood, pivot into a marriage, pivot into family, from the dyad to triad to so on. I'm fascinated by the aggressive pivot that you made between different movie categories. And that requires, I think, a lot of courage and hope and self-belief and faith in order to let go of something good for the chance at something that you think could be great. I think that's something that a lot of people wish that they had a little bit more fuel.
It was a big risk. It was a big chance. And it was no guaranteed return ticket. It was a one-way ticket, possibly to, I'm a head coach of high school football to this day.
One-way ticket to a dead end.
Or to something new, but a one-way ticket to a dead end in Hollywood. It's an actor for sure. Look, it's no coincidence that at that time, to have the courage to make that decision, I did have really cool things going on in my life. I'd fallen in love with Camilla. She'd just become pregnant with her first child. That gave me some significance of like, that's what I've always wanted to be. As a father, here we go. If I stick with it, this will give me a home base to feel secure in, even though I'm stepping away from what has given me significance for so many years and decades of my life. Having her to sit there, as much as I knew it was the right decision and it was a 3 a.m. decision in my own self, she's always been very good with me about going, now say it out loud and here's what we're going to do. If we're doing this, she's the one that said, this could be dry for who knows how long. You may not get work ever again, but if we're going to do this, I'll be here by your side and we're doing it together. And there's no going back. We're not going to get nerves at the goal line. If we don't know where the goal line is, we're not going to get down the line and go, oh, I pulled a parachute.
Even if it's a $14 million parachute.
Even if it's $14 million parachute. Even if it doesn't work out and you become a teacher or you go become a lawyer again, whatever. So making that a choice that was inevitable, that there was no pulling the parachute on, sure as hell helped with the endurance of me being away for what was 20 months. I learned a lot of endurance in that year in Australia. Same way, that gave me very thick skin for enduring something. So that 20 months was really hard. And I've said it before, that proverbial bottle on the shelf was looking better and better earlier in the day as time went. I mean, how many more times could I work in the damn garden, man? I'm like, I'm not a gardener for life. I like this, but I gotta, come on, man. But she helped me stay steady. I stayed steady. My faith helped me stay steady. I did have a real belief, whether I was tricking myself or not. There's a bigger pot of gold for me on the other side of this. If I just I'll out endure this so much. And it became a little like the year in Australia. I started to gain pride and honor with the longer the penance went on of being without what I wanted. And I started to be like, well, I definitely ain't backing out now, man. I'm 6 months in.
Turns into momentum.
All on a year later, I'm like, I'm a year in, man. This is getting good. Okay, come on. And 20 months later, I'd been gone long enough to become a new good idea. Where's McConaughey? Plus, he said no to that $14.5 million offer 3 months ago. And I guarantee you that told some people in Hollywood, what's this so much up to? You don't say no to a $14.5 million offer. The offer's too big to get out. And he said, now, if someone does that, you get a little more attracted to him. This dude's on to something. He's got his own program. He's playing offense on something. He's not just regressing. And I think that also sent a bit of a signal. It's my hunt through Hollywood. And then the fact that it was just honestly 20 months, almost 2 years later. Where's McConaughey? We haven't seen him in a rom-com. We haven't seen him on the beach, shirtless. Where is he? He hadn't shown up in front of our faces anyway. I don't even know what he's doing. Does anyone know what he's doing?
Do you feel, or did you fear not being sufficiently prolific, not being sufficiently sort of front of stage, keeping your name out there? What if somebody else takes that place of me? What if I become irrelevant? What if people forget?
I didn't have any fear of anyone taking the place because my place at that time was rom-com. And I was sure, I was like, I'm good. I've done enough of those right now. I don't need another one of those right now. I don't want another one of those right now. If someone steps in to take the place, I always like to say I took the baton from Hugh Grant, and then I had my time. I was like,
who do you think he threw?
I don't know. The rom-coms are not, they're definitely not as healthy of a genre now as they were then. We were rolling in the rom-coms. They were like can't missers, man. They're medium budget, 30, 35 mil. So the studio's not blowing their wad on the budget. They come out, they make good money. Studios make good money. All of them kind of worked. Even the ones that didn't work as well, kind of,
Huge potential audience. Everybody can go see it.
Repeats on Valentine's Day, So I don't know. They did really hand it to. I don't know if anyone's really jumped in that lane or if that lane's got a help wanted sign anymore. Did I feel irrelevant? Sure, I felt the unease of irrelevance. I mean, but then I became irrelevant.